Here we have the all-new 2023 Chevrolet Colorado. This one comes in the Trail Boss trim level. And we have Summit White paint and then jet black Evo Tex interior. So that's gonna be a leatherette trim. And the powertrain consists of that upgraded 2.7 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And that's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. But love the exterior styling here, especially with the Trail Boss, like the wheel wells and all that look cool. But coming around to the front end here, we have our halogen headlamps. Love the blacked out Chevy badging though. And even though this is more of a basic Trail Boss with the plastic black, it still looks rugged there. But as we come around to the wheels here, these are 18-inch gloss black. Love that look there, very aggressive, but also looking stylish. We have these all-terrain tires. And to the door panel, power door lock controls are here. One-touch automatic up and down on the driver's side, express down on the front passenger side, and then express down for the back as well. And then our power mirror controls, you can pick a side, you can turn them on and off, and you can adjust what direction the mirrors are headed. Storage pocket here, bottle holder there, gauge cluster brightness adjustment, hood release, and then tilt and telescope steering wheel release there. But here's our manual driver seat. So we have manual lumbar, or manual seat height, excuse me, manual seat back, and manual seat bottom. And we can move all that there. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's look at this rear seat room. So it's kind of a step up in here. And then that's my room back here. And I've got it pretty snug up there for me. I can fit, but I'm not as comfortable as I could be. And that's still my legroom there. But mid-sized trucks, what can you do? None of them have really caught on to that, but 2 cup holders here, rear AC vents here, which is nice. I wasn't expecting rear AC vents, but and then grab handle here. And then child lock, lock and unlock there on either side. And then fuel filler there. Now, one of my favorite parts about this one in particular is how aggressive the tail lights look, because they have that black kind of tinted cover there. So I love that look. It makes it look that much more of an aggressive pickup. Spare tire underneath there, exhaust. There's the bed. And I want to give a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below too in the description. But there's a manual front passenger seat. Just seat back and seat bottom can be adjusted there. And then glove compartment, pretty good size, owner's manual. But as we come back around to the front end, let's go ahead and pop the hood. And there's that 2.7 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So we get a vinyl wrap steering wheel here, but still feels nice. And I still like how they put the perforation on the sides there. That's pretty neat. Now to the radio, I do have the Google Maps system up now. So to use that, I can find restaurants that are close. I can find shopping, fuel, or I can use the search bar. And then I can either use recent destinations, voice recognition, or start typing in an address or a destination, and it'll start giving me suggestions. So pretty good system, and I like it. It shows you traffic patterns. I can zoom in and out and then see very close up what's going on with the traffic around me. And then you can add a phone here for Bluetooth. It walks you right through it. So you do get Bluetooth audio, and then you also get AM, FM, XM along with your wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and then you have Google News Podcasts. And then you have access to the Play Store, Google Assistant, trailering. And then for your settings here, you have your connections, which is how you get to your Bluetooth again, Wi-Fi hotspot. Vehicle settings are here. And then apps permissions, date and time, you can set that here. And then we also have our system settings, and this is where you can change your language if you want to do that, and then your units as well if you want to go to metric. Now for the camera, you do get the backup camera there, and that's kind of the trailer view. If you want to back your truck up to a trailer for whatever reason, you can do that. And then your controls here, this is where you can control your lights, vehicle settings, you can go to there, or go there from a shortcut. And then camera, auto high beams, hill descent, all of that is in the screen. So you also have a quick shortcut for the headlamps though, which is nice. So you can set that to auto, on, off, whatever. And I'm still kind of not feeling that, but once you get used to it, it's not terrible. It's just, it made more sense to just have a light switch like on the left side where it's supposed to go. But overview here, I love the graphics here. You can look at the engine air filter life and then go through everything there and then click on something to expand it, brake pads, or you can go into it manually, look at the tire pressure, fluids, all of that, and then your trip meter here. And then you do have an off-road setting here. We can go through drive modes, I'll show you that in a minute, but this kind of shows you your G4 steering angles, all the stuff that you need depending on where you are. So it's nice to have all that. I think that covers everything there. There's the backup camera. We can toggle the guidelines here. And then I like the AC controls actually. We can adjust the fan speed here, the temperature there, and then we can turn the whole system on and off. AC toggle, defroster, and then we can decide where we want the airflow to go right here. And then auto stop toggles there, hazards are there, lane keep assist with lane departure, USB-C, USB-A input. And then for the shifter, pull the lever, reverse, neutral drive, and then low gear, and you can manually shift. And it'll show you what gear you're in at the bottom of that gauge cluster there. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. And then those modes, again, you can go through your four-wheel drive here. And then you can toggle your drive modes with a knob. You have normal, terrain, tow haul, off-road. Love the graphics there again. Center console cubby space. I like the removable tray, and then you have a pretty good amount of space down in there, and I believe that is a 12 volt right there. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. OnStar. Now to the stalk behind the steering wheel, blinkers. And then you have your windshield wiper controls here, that's off. All of your intermittent modes are right there. And then you have low, high, and then hit it once to get the wipers going, and then push it all the way in. And that's how you get the windshield wiper fluid. And then you can toggle your high beams there when the lights are on. So do that real quick. Toggle them on and off, and you can flash there. And then you can toggle your gap adjust for the forward collision alert there. And I will say, that's just super, I don't get that. The button looks cool, but literally all it does, you can only toggle it down, and then you have to go through all of that. So I feel like that's a waste. They could have put more there. And then over here, you can hit this for the audio, hit this for the voice recognition, Bluetooth controls. I like that you can scroll these up and down here. And that's also a mute button when you pull that there. And then you can go through your radio station favorites here. And then you have your views for the gauge cluster right in here. And I think that's pretty neat. But again, it just leaves me longing for, I guess, more features to control. But it looks super awesome, let me just say that. There's our push button start there. Finally, here's the key fob. And next, let's take this Colorado Trail Boss out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Colorado Trail Boss, I've said this before, love the 2.7 liter Turbo 4 in these trucks. Now reliability wise, we don't know how they're really gonna hold up, but performance wise, they are quite impressive in my opinion. And I actually like the sound. It kind of it reminds me of the Duramax diesels I had in these. Which I think that was also a 2.7, but it was a 6, I believe. Might have been a 4, I don't remember, but it has that same feel to it. Now, very easy to merge onto the interstate with a truck like this, having this amount of pickup. And actually pretty quiet in the cabin, as I'm just cruising here at 65. And actually the ride quality is pretty great. And I've said this about the other Colorados. It's just, with it not being an extended cab, it rides a little better in my opinion. The sound acoustics in the cabin are definitely better. And I think with the air on full blast pretty much now, it's not on full blast, but I can definitely hear the air conditioning. With all that going on, it's pretty much hard to hear anything else, and that's what you want. But overall, pretty good driving truck. Now, one thing I also like about this truck is when you don't try to give it throttle hard, it's actually a pretty comfortable sound that you get from the powertrain. It's not overly loud or intrusive, but then when you put your foot into it, you feel like you're in a tuned truck. So kind of got the best of both worlds there. Had a little shudder there. But in terms of competition, I think everybody's basically going to Turbo 4s in the mid-size truck, small truck segment. I mean, the Maverick has a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It's turbocharged. You have the 2.7 on this one. The Ranger had the 2.3, and that's about to get a refresh along with the Tacoma. And I'm sure the Tacoma's gonna have turbocharged powertrains as well. Everybody, I don't know if they're doing it for emissions or for fuel. It can't be for fuel economy because they're getting the same fuel economy basically. But pretty much Turbo 4 is the way to go, and it's crazy how much pulling power you can get. These are rated to get anywhere from like 5,000. I think the max on the Canyon crew cab with the 2.7 is like 7,700 pounds, which is insane. But we'll see how they hold up in terms of towing for long periods of time, as well as just driving them around for daily driving. Will you have to replace the turbo in 100,000 miles? It's hard to really tell now. I know some trucks are doing that and they're having to replace them, but a lot of that has to do with maintenance, how hard you drive a vehicle, just like anything else. But overall, with the Colorado, I like the styling. Love the new interiors. Now, with this one being a Trail Boss and it's more basic, of course it's not going to look like a fully loaded LT or a Canyon Denali, but still like the interface and the dash, everything like that. But definitely I recommend checking it out. It's still going to be based on user preference, I'm sure, but this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Chevrolet Colorado Trail Boss.